What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We back with another HBCU OverDrive live show. I know I had started at 7 o'clock, but I was running into some issues with the weather and picking up my stepson from football practice. But we are live and in effect for a few until we get on to this Twitter space and hit that HBCU nightly. So usually, man, I really don't have too many people, come on for interviews or just do a show, actual show with me. But I got my guy Josh Sims. He is the headliner for HBCU Nightly on Twitter Spaces. As y'all see, I'm doing my little show outside. So, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. But other than that, man, my boy Josh Sims, tell everybody about yourself, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, first off, man, my brother Doc, man, thank you for having me on the show, my brother. It's absolute pleasure. Me and Doc, man, when I first started HBCU Nightly, right on Twitter, my brother Doc got on there first episode and really been rocking with me ever since. So, man, I'm Joshua Sims Crowell. Everybody just calls me Crow. I'm a North Carolina Central graduate, third generation North Carolina Central graduate. Played at North Carolina Central from 2009 to 2013. Man, literally, man, I'm all things HBCU, man. Obviously, being a North Carolina Central grad, we got a big game this week against the school down the highway. But I'm pretty sure my brother he gonna want to get into that a little bit. So, man, other than that, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. I'm probably gonna get into that on Thursday. About the Aggie Eagle Classic and OBC and all the other games that's going on in
Labor Day Classic. Yeah.
Labor Day Classic, which I more likely will be at this weekend.
For sure.
So we got the wrap up, man. It's the wrap up session for week 0.
Absolutely.
And first game on the agenda was FAMU UNC. To me, man, that game just epitomized the type of character that Coach Willie Simmons has.
Absolutely.
And also the type of character he had, his football team has. Because at the end of the day, they could have said no.
Yeah, they really could have.
They could have said no. They could have paid the penalty to North Carolina. But they, went out there and represented well for the university.
Absolutely.
And for them to not really truly get blown out, because you know how it is as far as what FBS schools, Power 5 schools do to us, smaller schools. They'll blow us out and we'll collect the check and that's it.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, man, they busted their ass. They went out there and busted their ass. They showed everybody what the Swac is all about.
Absolutely.
They showed what Florida A&M is all about. And just to show, like I said, just show the testament of how Coach Willie Simmons is and how he is towards his players.
Yeah, Coach did an incredible job, man. You can look at how they played in that game and tell how prepared they were.
Right.
I jumped out on a limb on HBCU Nightly a few weeks ago and said that I felt like the Swac was the second best conference in FCS, and everybody laughed, man. Now it was a lot of people on the show that laughed, and everybody was like, "What? Why would you think that?" And then you go out and you look, man. Look at opening weekend for the Swac. Alabama State goes down, they beat Howard, which I called that was going to happen. But then you go out and you see the product that FAMU put on that field in Chapel Hill, man. Jeremy Musa, was lights out, dog. You take away that, that fourth quarter where, a lot of the turnovers happen. And honestly, there's a questionable situation that happens right before halftime. Do you just go in and just stay down 7 and come out the second half and do the same and, give yourself a better chance? But ultimately, man, Jeremy Musa played a even kill, solid game, man. This
Yeah,
kid lit up the board, man. 28 of 38 for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 1 pick. And he had a couple fumbles there in the fourth quarter, but dog, overall, this dude played lights out, man. And you really gotta commend that offensive line too. Other than when you get late into the third quarter, early fourth quarter, thought they didn't give up nothing, man.
no,
That
they didn't give
offensive line
anything
didn't
up.
give up nothing. We had all of them conversations about this offensive line, there not being any tackles. Maybe that might be the secret to everybody in the SWAC. Don't put no tackles. If you got dudes who call themselves tackles, don't let them play. Put your guards at tackle, and they can move a little bit better. I mean, because they
Right.
looked very solid, and they torched that defense, man. And I'm going to talk about that as much as I can this season. But obviously, we got the OBC this weekend coming up, so we get a chance to see what that offense looks like against who I believe to be a better defense than Chapel Hill.
Right. I'm a Jackson State guy, so that's a lot of things we could talk about as far as the OBC goes,
Yeah,
and about Jackson State football. And I'm pretty much gonna do that. Like I said, Thursday evening.
yeah.
Once I finish up all the stuff that I gotta do around the house and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into all that.
For sure.
But like I said, Musa showed me a lot of moxie.
Absolutely.
He showed a lot of moxie, especially the pocket presence.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't scared to throw the ball down the field.
No,
He wasn't scared to take a hit by the defense. The offense was just smooth. The running game could have got a little bit better, but it still was good because you took that pressure off of Musa.
Yeah.
In the game when with sound running from Terrell Jennings, and I'm gonna tell you this: when he laid out Tony Grimes in the first quarter, I knew from jump that this game was going to be something different because
and that's the component too there, Doc. That's the component that nobody ever takes into context. Nobody takes into context that somebody might go down. You heard all of this talk about Carolina, having all these 5 stars, and I'm on your show. I'm gonna make this statement. I made this statement on Twitter. I'm gonna make this statement on your show too. If you are a 4 or 5 star kid and you're in my state, you're in the state of North Carolina, and you're watching HBCU OverDrive right now, and you are hearing the sound of my voice, there is absolutely no reason for you to only be considering UNC-Chapel Hill and NC State. You need to take your hind parts to the HBCUs that flow all the way from North Carolina, all the way down to Florida, all the way across over to Mississippi and Texas, and you need to go take a visit. Because what we saw on Saturday is that it has nothing to do with the facilities. It has nothing to do with the donation, the endowment of that university. Florida A&M came in with a phenomenal game plan that all of them 4 and 5 star guys, you had a former head coach in Gene Chizik as the defensive coordinator for Chapel Hill. They could not figure those guys out. And you could see that Florida A&M was well prepared for that game. They had what they needed on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know if we don't see an upset today and we don't see Florida A&M 1-0 today because
the way the game was going in the first half, it really could have been an upset.
It really could have been an upset.
It really could have been an upset. And then because I'm gonna tell you, I was on a live with Ken Clark and the boy from Tiger Talk, and we basically watch party. So we was in there watching all the games. I'm watching from my TV and on my phone, and I'm like, you know what? The way that they playing, bro, they might pull this off.
I was watching the game like, dog, they getting ready to beat these dudes, man.
Like my whole thing is, even though it's week 0, and you is a FBS Power 5 school, to me, you're supposed to basically jump, like 21, 28 points in the first half or first quarter. You're supposed to be coasting. Like you're supposed to be dominated that whole game, and it shows the fact that the defense for FAMU was basically playing the bend but don't break defense.
Absolutely, which you have to do when you ain't got the guy.
They didn't want to get beat.
Yeah,
they didn't want to get beat deep, so they kept everything underneath them. which was a good thing, which was a good plan. Only thing I didn't like is that the DBs really couldn't cover nobody.
Right.
That's the
They
only
couldn't.
thing. That's the only thing I didn't like. But other than that game, it was a great game to watch. It was a great game to actually just to look, and it shows like I said, it shows the tenacity and the hunger of Florida A&M.
Absolutely.
So
And before you move on, Doc,
uh-huh.
dog, we talking about Chapel Hill, dog.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill ain't no football school. And anybody else that get on Twitter Space that come on my show and they want to sing the praises of Chapel Hill for the remainder of the season, I'm not gonna listen to nothing that nobody got to say. Florida A&M's offense outplayed UNC Chapel Hill's defense for 3.5 quarters, for almost 3.5 quarters, man. And I just call it like it is. And I'm gonna leave it at that because we'll get into it on HBCU night.
I've always said Chapel Hill was always a basketball school, but
it's a basketball school.
It's a basketball school, but you can't say this though. When Mac Brown was the coach at first, when he was his first stint in North Carolina, he tried to turn it into a football school, and now his second stint, I think he learned his lessons from when he was at University of Texas. And with the administration, but with the administration with UNC, they love Mac Brown.
They do. They love
him.
Mac is a legend.
But it's neither here nor there. I just want to see how they respond this coming weekend, or whoever they play this weekend.
They got App State. They got App State at App State. That's a dangerous game too.
That's a dangerous game. That's a trap game right there. So the next game I want to get to is the Meac Swac Challenge. Now, I said it on my page that Howard was going to win the game. And the only reason I said Howard was going to win the game was because Quentin Williams is the catalyst for Howard, you know what I'm saying, for the offense. I said, and this is what I said. I said if he has an arm on him, but he doesn't like to throw anything underneath. He don't like anything that's like underneath in front of him within like 5 or 7 yards. But he'll check the ball down the field for about 15, 20 yards down the field. But anything in between the intermediate passes and the check downs, he doesn't do that. He I don't know if he don't have a sense of doing that, or he feel like his receivers can go get it, but I didn't see anything on it. But other hand, Demetrius Davis is all that what I seen when he was at North Shore.
Absolutely.
So when he was in high school at North Shore, that's the same type of dude. That's the same type of quarterback he was when he was at North Shore. He see basically like any kind of pressure in front of him, he's going to spin out, boom, spin out, and he's not looking to run. He's looking to run to get the pass off.
Absolutely.
If you seen the game on Saturday, minus the weather delays that they had,
3 of
the many weather delays that they had, you seen when he got flushed out of the pocket, he's not looking to just straight run. He's looking to throw the ball. He's looking for the alleyway to make sure, like, okay, my receiver's right here. Boom, I'm gonna give it to him. The rollouts, the play action passing. He ran the ball when he needed to run the ball. It was basically the same thing, what he did when he was in high school. Except for the fact that he had a 5-star running back when he was in high school that was right beside him.
But they, I'm gonna say this, man, and I've been open and honest about this, man. I try to be nice about it. I try to be courteous about it. But I'm gonna be quite frankly honest. When it comes to athletics, when it comes to the big athletics, football, men's basketball, women's basketball, Howard always is a letdown for all HBCUs. When you go back and look at what South Carolina, the University of South Carolina's girls basketball team did to did to Howard's girls basketball team. It was
Oh yeah, I
atrocious.
know
Man.
they destroyed them.
They went into halftime with less than 20 points. That is atrocious, man. And for me, Howard is gonna be Howard until Howard shows me that they don't want to be Howard no more. I played against Howard. Howard has always been. They've always been like this for as long as I can remember. I don't remember. I didn't play against what's my guy that's on ESPN?
Jay.
Yeah, I didn't play against him. That was over 20 years ago. Howard, for the majority of my life, for the majority of the time I've been playing ball, Howard has been Howard. I don't expect anything different. This is the same Howard that a few years ago lost to Harvard 55-7. This is the same Howard. And as much as we would love to be able to give the kid Quentin Williams his flowers, this is the same team from last year. Add a couple pieces here and there. They're going to fight with Delaware State to finish dead last in the Meac. And Howard's going to be the bottom feeders of this conference for the next 10 years. I know people keep saying they're two recruiting classes away. Morgan State's on the way.
Yeah.
How are they going to jump over Morgan State? Delaware State, once every 5-6 years, Delaware State pops up and has a really good team. How are they going to jump over that? You're not beating Norfolk State. Norfolk is going to stay in the top half of the conference. You darn sure ain't beating no South Carolina State. And you got to come into Durham this year for our homecoming. And the first year we're going to have homecoming at 100% capacity. It's going to be 15 to 20,000 people in the stadium, another 20,000 people outside the stadium. And we're going to be tagging it in. Man, listen, if you are a fan of Howard and you want Howard to be who you want Howard to be, I'm the wrong person to listen to because I know what Howard is. And Howard's going to be this for a long time.
I said this last week. I said if Howard put in at least 40% effort what they do with academics into athletics, then
they will be unstoppable, man.
I don't see why they can't compete for a championship.
They're glorified.
And that's in any sport.
They're a glorified Ivy League school, Doc. They're a glorified Ivy League school. They're as far as in our community, they are the Harvard of HBCUs, but Harvard is trash in comparison to PWI. So
I can't say, I know it's glorified HBCU, Ivy League HBCU. My cousin goes to school there, so she goes.
No, I'm saying it's a glorified Ivy League school. It's the Harvard of HBCUs when it comes to academics. When it comes to academics, no question, it's the Harvard of academics. It's the Harvard of HBCUs for us. But they are terrible at athletics.
The other game I watched was Stephen F. Austin versus Jacksonville State.
Great game.
It was a great game. The only knock about it is you're playing Jacksonville State that's moving up to FBS next year.
Yeah.
And they already had allocated 85 scholarships players on the team.
And it showed.
That Stephen F. Austin, they started out fast and they got worn down. I think my thing is to me is the interception that they picked off, and they said it wasn't an interception. I think that brought the team morale down, and basically Jacksonville State just went on a whole run. You seen them score like 20-something points within 4 minutes.
Absolutely.
Like they went on a run, and then they blocked the punt in the end zone and got it for a touchdown. So you saw you basically saw the depth of Jacksonville State and the lack of depth of Stephen F. Austin.
Yep.
Now Stephen F. Austin has to go to Lorman this weekend and play Alcorn, which
who is going to be licking
no pushover.
No.
There are no slouch. There are no pushover. You got a Fred McNair team. You went coached by Fred. You know how they do. It's like watching paint. You know how they do. It's like watching paint dry, but they efficient. You can't take nothing away from that. They are efficient in what they do. So
I mean, Stephen F. Austin for me, right? I can give Jacksonville State all the kudos in the world, but I think also Jacksonville State and Coach Rodriguez saw something in that Stephen F. Austin defense that none of us called.
Right.
None of us saw Stephen F. Austin's defense being that bad. They looked terrible. Outside of the first quarter, they looked horrible. And Jacksonville State, didn't look excellent. They just looked good enough. And they made enough plays, and they ran the ball, and they were able to utilize being able to get outside of the pocket to their advantage. So I watched the game. Stephen F. Austin's defense looked terrible, and they got to go to Alcorn this weekend, and Alcorn is going to assess that tape, and they're going to break them down. I will not be surprised if Alcorn comes out this weekend with that W.
Yeah. So if you think about it, this is the same Stephen F. Austin team that played that played Texas Tech to the wire last season.
Absolutely.
And they lost. I think they only lost by like 2 or 3 points, but they took that team to the wire. We talking about Tech, but Jacksonville State, yes, with Rich Rod, with Coach Rodriguez. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna give it to him. Now you got some other big games coming up. You got this weekend. You have Tennessee State versus Eastern Washington. You have Grambling. I think I forgot who they're playing this weekend. But they are playing this weekend. Southern is playing this weekend. You have the Labor Day Classic, Texas Southern and Prairie View, which I'm about to be so elated to see. And shout out to Mama Body and Mr. Rick Body. They called me earlier today, asked me what time I was gonna be down there, and I told them I don't know, but I said I'm gonna leave as soon as I get off of work.
Yeah. I got Andrew Body going crazy this weekend, man. He's gonna go nuts, man.
So his dad already told me they're gonna be 52-7.
Jeez.
We'll see. So we'll see. But like I said, I shout them out, man, because man, they are some real genuine, true, good people. But I don't want to keep us here not too long, because I know we got to do the nightly show.
Absolutely.
On Twitter.
Absolutely.
Plug it in for everybody on
absolutely,
on YouTube,
man. HBCU Nightly every Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. live on Twitter Spaces. This Friday, we'll have a show on this Friday live here from Charlotte, North Carolina, in anticipation for the 100th Aggie Eagle Classic right here live in Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium, Carolina Panther Stadium. So if you can, man, join us on Twitter Spaces tonight. Join us on Twitter Spaces on Friday, and we will also be doing YouTube Live on Friday as well for the first time. So check us out, HBCU Nightly. Man, it's been action-packed. Look forward to you guys joining.
So, and also, like I said, Thursday, I'm doing a preview for week 1. So everybody come up with some predictions of the score, put it in the chat, put it in your comment. Maybe later on down the line, we could do a cash prize on this. Absolutely. But I'm doing a preview for week 1. Friday, I will be at my stepson's football game. So, got parental duties.
Absolutely.
Saturday, I will be on the road. So I will be covering Texas Southern. I will be sitting on Texas Southern side. Even though I got people that went to Prairie View, hey, it is what it is, man. But if you haven't done, make sure you like the show, comment, share with your people, and most of all, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get everything HBCU OverDrive. We are out for right now, but you will catch me, like I said, Thursday at 8 o'clock. If you want to join back on Thursday, man, you let me know. It's cool.
Man, it's a done deal, dog.
All right, I'm going to send the link to you. And we about to roll over to Twitter Spaces. Y'all have a good one. Peace.